What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Jerome, and I am coming to you tonight with a review for Love and Hip Hop New York. This is season number 9. This is episode number 11, and it's titled, Why You Trippin'? So, without further ado, we are just going to go on ahead and get right into the video. Alright, so first we're going to start up with where the episode actually started out with. So we see Kimbella. Kimbella is out shopping. I don't know what kind of store that, I don't know if that was a coat store, a fur store, what kind of store that was that Kimbella was at. But she was out shopping, and she was joined by Sin, and she was joined by Juju. So, you know, once they come in there, they looking at the ring, you know, they asking her when she's going to get married. You know, she's talking about soon. Then she asked them to be her bridesmaids. Shout out to Nene. And, you know, they both agreed to be her bridesmaid. So then they talk to Sin. You know, Sin is talking about what's all going on with her and Joey, old man Joe in the shoe. And, you know, she's talking about how they sat down with Dr. Jim. And they just found out some things about themselves that they did not know. You know, she's talking about how Dr. Jim told them to, once the baby goes to sleep. My neighbor is really fucking loud tonight, and I don't know why. You know, take 20 minutes to just have a conversation with one another. And they do that. And, you know, they are having sex again. So then, you know, Juju is talking about how she has this hosting over in Costa Rica. So, you know, she wants them all to come. And she tells Kimbella and Sin that, you know, Maggie is coming and also Yandy's coming. And she's like, and, you know, she was like, well, do you think you can be cool with Yandy? And, you know, Kimbella's like, you know, with this ring on my finger, I can be cool with Yandy. Like, I ain't got no problems right now. Like, life is good. So I'm like, oh, okay, Kimbella, if you say so. We don't think life gonna be good once y'all get to Costa Rica. Speaking of Costa Rica, because we haven't even gotten to that point yet, but with this Costa Rica trip, Erica Mena showed up on the trip. So I wonder if they're gonna show Erica Mena next week or at some point in this, because Erica Mena was there in Costa Rica when they were filming. So I'm just wondering if they're gonna show her. Okay, and then next we got Sylvester the cat. He's in a studio, he's working on some music, and, you know, then he's talking to us about how, you know, he had to take the judge this, what was it he said? Was it a character, these character letters, and one of them he reached out to Yandy to do the letter for him. So then we see Yandy, she shows up at the studio that Sylvester was at, and, you know, they start talking, and, you know, he's like, you know, you're supposed to be my sister, and I got engaged, and then 3 days after my engagement, I still ain't heard nothing from you. And, you know, she was like, she don't want to come between Jewels and Kimbella. It's a little bit too late for that one. Like, you've been in between Jewels and Kimbella. That's where y'all beef is coming from right about now, because you never told. That's part of the beef. I know they want to say the big beef is because of that Instagram post, but the shit between Kimbella and Yandy started years ago. You know, when Kimbella said that Yandy wouldn't tell her about the hoes that Jewels would, you know, be around and everything. Actually, if we being honest, I think the real beef started. So go back to that season that Kimbella came back when, you know, Mendici's baby mamas was on there. You know, Sam, Samantha, and what was the other one's name? Erica. So go back to that season. If you remember, that season was the last season we saw. Well, not the last season we saw. It was the last season we saw Erica. Not the last season that we saw Samantha. And also the last season we saw Kimbella before now. And I know Kimbella and Yandy fell out in between that time frame because, one, Kimbella was no longer on the show. So, you know, Jewels is like, but, you know, if you're supposed to be my sister, you shouldn't stop talking to me, which I agree with that. If they're supposed to be, quote, brother and sister, whatever. And then, you know, he's like, I don't even know what the beef is between you and Kimbella. And she was like, neither do I. And he was like, well, at this point, y'all need to be civilized, grown-ass women. Sit down and have a conversation and figure this shit out. That would be too much like right. And Mona is telling y'all, nope, you're going to follow the script exactly to the T. So don't steer away from my script. Do not do it or I will find that ass. Find that ass. All right, so next we see Joe and Sin. Joe and Sin, they were heading to Remy and Pap's baby shower. So the theme was a 1950s style, you know, like Happy Days, Grease, and you know, other things that happened in the 1950s. And you know, speaking of Joe and Sin, so I watched the commercial during, you know, the little small commercial that they showed during Love and Hip Hop Miami of next week's episode. I guess that was next week's episode because we saw Jewel's and Kimbella's wedding. We saw when Joe proposed to Sin, and we saw when Remy and Pap had the golden child. So on their way there, you know, Sin is telling Joe about the trip to Costa Rica, and you know, he's telling her that, you know, he's going on a break from the State of the Culture podcast. They're going on the season finale or whatever. And then, you know, we see, you know, everybody at the baby shower. Now, I don't know if the editing was off or what, because at the baby shower, we saw Yandy and Juju having a good time. But then we also saw Juju and Yandy in a van. So I was kind of confused. I'm like, so are they supposed to be leaving the baby shower, or are they heading to the baby shower? Like, I could never make heads or tails of that one. Like, that editing, that threw me off. But, you know, while they're in the car, Juju is telling Yandy that, you know, Joe is coming to Costa Rica. But, you know, she really just wanted it to be a girls trip. But, you know, since Sin and Joe, they had a stuff that they're trying to work through, she's cool with Joe coming. So then Yandy's like, well, why don't you invite Safari? And, you know, Juju's like, no, I'm not inviting Safari. Like, Safari and I, you know, we're not on in good space right now. You know, I feel like I'm a better friend to Safari than Safari is to me. And the reason why she feels that way is because she says that Safari doesn't check on her. Well, hate to tell you, but maybe the reason why Safari's not checking on you is because he got a girlfriend by the name of Erica Mena that is a little cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. That could be it. Just saying. But, you know, Yandy's like, well, you know, since Joe was coming, why not bring Safari? You know, let us have our girls' time, and then, you know, Joe and Safari can do whatever they gonna do. So I'm guessing Juju was agreeing with it. I don't know, because when we get to the later part of the episode, it looked a little different than what we saw here. All right, y'all. So while we're talking about Pap and Rem, so Pap has this shoe line, this sneaker line called Black Love, and then he's shooting his music video called The Golden Child. Like, whoa. Which I remember watching that little, you know, Meet the Mackies when they, you know, he got that heartbeat of the babies. And I thought, when it comes to, you know, Pap and Rem, Pap is a little corny, but I actually do like the fact that he's all about his family, his wife, and his child. So I think it's really cute. So in this music video, he has his friends there. He got Mano there. He got Jewels there. He got, who else was there? It was Mano, Jewels, and Joe. So in this video, he wanted his friends to bring their kids along with them. So they brought their kids. So then after it's over with, you know, they're talking about, you know, family. We talk about Jewels and Kimbella. You know, when are they going to get married? Jewel says, you know, it's whenever, you know, whenever Kimbella want to do it, he down for it. It can be before he go to jail or after he come out of jail. He, you know, like I said, he's cool with it. So then, you know, Pap told him, you know, the story about him and Remy, that Remy went to the courthouse and they took her away, and that he and Remy got married over the phone. So then, you know, he talks to Joe, and, you know, he's like, so when's things gonna happen for you and Sin? And again, Joe is on this whole thing of when the timing is right. And, you know, Pap just had to, you know, break it down to him, like, you know, it's never gonna be right because there's always gonna be something that's, you know, comes in the way. So you gotta, you gotta kind of strike while the iron is hot with Sin. Like, don't let her get away from you. If that's where you want to be, don't let your girl slip away from you. So then, you know, they talking to Mano, and, you know, they asking Mano how things are with him and Maggie. Mano says that shit is not good right now between him and Maggie, and he tells them why shit is not good between him and Maggie. You know, he's talking about he got this song called My Bitch Bad or something. I can't remember what the name of that song is. And, you know, he's talking about how Maggie wants to get on the song, but it was made for a rapper, and Maggie is a singer, and he didn't put Maggie on the song, but he did instead put Alexis Sky on the song. And, you know, so then, you know, they talking, and, you know, Joe is like, well, you know, I'm going to Costa Rica, you know, why don't you come? He was like, yeah, the tension that's right there between me and Maggie right now, I don't really know about that. And then he was like, well, you know, Jewels, are you coming? he said, nah, I can't come because, because of the case and everything. I can't lead this, the country at this point. Whoo, that's got to be fucked up. Because even still, when he get out of prison, he gonna be on probation for however long he gonna be on probation. And he's still gonna be stuck like Chuck. Should have never did it, huh? Okay, and then next we got Joe. He and Remy, they are finishing filming up the State of the Culture last episode of the season. And, Joe was just talking to, Remy about the conversation that he and Pap had at the baby shower. And, Remy is just telling him like the same thing that Pap said, basically in a nutshell, don't let your girl get away from you because shit is always going to happen. So, make it happen now. Because, again, stuff can just stuff's gonna keep happening regardless of how much time you want to put it off. Something's always gonna get in the way of whatever you want to do. So then his oldest son comes in. He's 17 years old. I can't remember what the boy's name was. Sheriff forgot what that boy's name was, and I didn't even take it down. But Joe is talking to him about him possibly marrying Sin. And his son is like, what, I kind of saw that coming, but, I'm cool with you and Sin getting married. And I actually didn't like that, the fact that the son is cool with him and his dad and Sin getting married. And I think we all are cool with that. Joe and Sin, corny as fuck, but they're so cute. And, them and little Lexington, even cuter. All right, so then we got Maggie. She met up with Alexis. This Alexis that we see on Love and Hip Hop New York is completely different from the Alexis guy that we saw on Love and Hip Hop Season 4, Love and Hip Hop Hollywood Season 4, when she was going against Masika. Like, if Alexis had came on to Love and Hip Hop Hollywood the way she has now on New York, like, shit, girl, like, people would have really took you a little, I ain't gonna say took you seriously, but people probably would like you a lot more than they probably don't like you just because of the way you portrayed yourself on that season. And actually, this is Alexis's third franchise that she's been on, because she first came on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta as Jessica Dime's friend, when Jessica Dime, Tommy, and Jock them all went to do their cooking class. And then, she did her whole stint on Hollywood. But, they talking about the record that Mano had, and Alexis didn't know nothing about it. And she actually apologizes to Maggie. And Maggie's like, but it's all cool. It didn't have nothing to do with you, And then she was telling her how, she wants to do music, but, Mano doesn't want her to do music. And then, she tells her that, she met with a producer. And, he sent her the track of a song. She recorded, and then she got a call the next day that he was shot and killed. And then, Alexis is talking about the whole shooting that happened between Treyway and, the label. And then, she starts talking about the label and all the shit that's going on with Treyway, Shotty, and Tekashi 6ix9ine, which that is a bunch of bullshit because they all going to jail. And, she just doesn't know what to do with her, her career at this point, which, sorry to tell you, Alexis, you really ain't got no career in music. Unfortunately, you're just not, what, maybe she could, hell. Stranger shit has happened from Love and Hip Hop. Just gonna say that. I'm not gonna, just gonna put that out there. Stranger shit has happened with people from Love and Hip Hop. Look at Cardi B. Cardi B just won a Grammy last night, and she came from Love and Hip Hop. K. Michelle hasn't won a Grammy, but she's done pretty good in the music industry. Omarion had that small resurgence from Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Amada on Love and Hip Hop Miami is doing pretty good. So, stranger things can happen. Hell, look at Johnson's old horrible ass career. She ain't doing music right now, but she's had some, some bops here and there that Stevie produced. So, stranger shit can happen. I'm not gonna even knock her. So, if that's what Alexis wants to do, put her music out there, go ahead and do it. Who's buying it? Not me. Just saying. So then, Alexis starts talking about the whole shit on, on social media, when people are always talking about her, Solo Lucci, and Fetty Wap. How, people talking about, oh, Solo Lucci is the baby daddy. Oh, Fetty Wap is the baby daddy. And when it comes down to that shit, I always got tired of seeing that shit. Like, that got on my nerves. This girl is sitting here telling y'all that Fetty Wap is her baby daddy. Like, I believe Alexis knows who she fucked and who she got pregnant by. Like, how y'all gonna sit there and tell this girl that Solo Lucci is her baby daddy? Like, and then, she's talking about how Fetty Wap is just playing games. He doesn't deny her, but he's playing games. And for that, I don't feel bad for Alexis, because you saw what his other baby mamas has gone through. And then you spent a whole entire season arguing with Masika about him. And you saw that he wasn't doing shit for Masika's baby. So why did you feel that your baby would be any differently? Why did you even feel the need to lay down and fuck him without a condom? Like, come on. What? And then speaking of Fetty Wap, like, what does he got? He got 679 and he got Trap Queen. That's all I can tell you about when it comes to Fetty Wap. What has Fetty Wap done since Trap Queen and 679? And to be honest with you, because if it wasn't for Lala Scissorhands, I promise you, I probably would have never known too much about Trap Queen, because Lala to me made that song even more popping when she did her version of it. I be your Trap Queen to the police at the door, and then I'm telling every single thing that I know. There's a gun under the mattress and some crack up in the stove. I don't know this man we just met 2 hours ago. Like, I would have never knew. I mean, I had heard Trap Queen on the radio, up here in Dallas, but I didn't pay that song too much attention. It wasn't really until, like I said, Lala Scissorhands that I'm like, okay, let me go listen to this actual track. And that was it. So thank Lala Scissorhands, Fetty Wap, for that hit that she gave you. All right, and then we saw another scene where Alexis, she is with her, her best friend. I don't know if they were in the studio or what. I could not make heads or tails of where they were. But wherever they were, she was meeting with Solo Lucci, as Roxanne calls him Solo Coochie. Shout out to Roxanne for that one. So, like I said, they meeting. So Solo Lucci, he shows up, and, he start talking about how, people on social media tag him and stuff when she posts up, talking about you a deadbeat daddy, why you ain't in your daughter's life. Why does that bother you if you know that ain't your daughter? Like, tell motherfuckers, if a motherfucker tag you on something about you a deadbeat daddy, tell them suck your dick, kiss your ass, fuck off, jump off a cliff, jump in front of a bus, jump in front of a plane, jump in front of a train, whatever the fuck they gotta do. Tell them to go to fucking hell. Like, it's just that easy. And then Solo Lucci further made himself sound even more fucking stupid. So Alexis is like, she got pregnant after her birthday. So her birthday is in July, same time as mine. And then she's like, so did you stick your dick in me in July? And he's talking about he don't know if he did or not. I'm like, nigga, you don't know if you stuck your dick in Alexis guy. Right. Really? You don't know that. So then he further makes himself sound even more stupid when he said he didn't know how many weeks she was. You, come on, nigga. It takes, gestation is actually 10 months, but it's 10 months. It's 10 months gestation, but they always say 9 months. Like, come on, dude. You know the last time you fucked that girl. Like, if you fucked her in March, April, May, June, February, January, December, November, whenever the last time you fucked her, if it was not between the time of her conceiving, which she said was in the end of July. So if you didn't fuck her between the end of July and somewhere in August, you ain't that baby's daddy. So then, he was like, well, let's just take a DNA test. And she was like, okay, cool. But after this, I want a public apology. And he said no. I'm like, and I hate to I don't agree with what Alexis said, because she said she felt like Solo Lucci did this for relevancy. I don't know how he makes himself relevant by saying he's your baby daddy when y'all both come from the same genre of ratchetry, love and hip hop. So I don't really know how you're more relevant than he is, or how he's more relevant than you. Somebody explain it to me because I don't understand it. But we're gonna move on. All right, last, you guys, the Costa Rica trick. So trip. So we see everybody. We see Safari, Kimbella, Joe, Sin, Yandy, Maggie, and Mano. Is that correct? I'm trying to remember who was in the cars. It was Safari, and it was Kimbella. It was Joe, and it was Sin in the one car. And then in the other car, it was Yandy. It was Juju, and it was Mano and Maggie. So yeah, I got it correct. Yeah, I got it correct. Don't judge me. So yeah, we got them all there. Safari, he lets us know that he got out of his Doc Johnson, dick deal. So whatever. So they finally make it to where they were staying. When they got there, Yandy saw Kimbella, and she, her mood just went down. I'm like, you on a free vacation that Mona me is paying for, bitch. Turn that frown upside down. Like, why are you frowning? Like, I don't give a fuck if I'm on a trip with if it's a first of all, if it's a free motherfucking trip, and you got a motherfucker that I can't stand, bitch, you you stay over there, I'ma stay over here. We ain't ever gotta cross or commingle. Like we don't ever have to cross. We can go our separate ways. I don't have to have anything to do with each other. But Yandy gets in her motherfucking feelings. I'm like, and she gets upset that Juju didn't tell her that she invited Kimbella. Bitch, did you plan the trip? Did you plan the trip? Like, shut the fuck up, Yandy. Like, So then we see Joe and Sin. They go to they suite that they got. They talking about, having sex with one another. And then, Kimbella shows up, and, Santa's telling her how she want to get fucked in the bed, how she want to get fucked in the pool. And, Kimbella's like, but you could do something else in this room, too. She's like, nah, we ain't on that right now. And, then Kimbella tells Sin that Juju wants to have a brunch the next morning. And Sin's like, how are things going to be between you and Yandy? She was like, girl, we can be civilized. I'm not worried about Yandy. Well, unfortunately, Yandy is worried about you, bitch. So then we see Juju, Maggie, and Maggie. They are on the beach, and they're talking, and once again, Yandy's talking about how aggravated she is that Kimbella is there. I'm like, why are you letting one person bring your mood down and bother you on this whole trip? Like, explain that to me and make that make sense to me, because it don't. So, then Maggie, she tells Yandy what Kimbella and Mariah Lynn said about her, talking about how she feels like she does everything for clout, also including, the little girl Infinity. Oh, why she say that? Yandy gets all up in her feelings. She gets upset, which I do understand that part about her getting upset, because they're saying that she can't even, she don't even care about her own fucking kids, that she gonna take this kid who is in the foster. I don't want to do air quotes because I don't really. I want to believe that she's in the foster care system, but her mom said she was and wasn't, so I don't know what to believe. But you're gonna take this kid that was in the foster care system, and you're gonna bring her around your kids. Like that would make Yandy seem like an unfit mother, if we want to be honest with you. So I definitely understood where she was coming from. And you don't attack anybody's mothering, because Kimbella would not want somebody to attack her mothering skills. So then, Juju comes out. Juju wants to hug them, and Yandy is still pissed off. And she's talking about, I'm looking at flights because I'm finna go. I'm leaving. And Juju's like, no, you don't leave. Like, and then she's like, why didn't you tell me that you invited not Yandy, but Kimbella? First of all, that ain't got shit to do with you. And she's like, well, with all the stuff that Kimbella is going through, I feel like she could use a little getaway. Again, Yandy, that ain't got shit to do with you. Like, what the fuck? But that was the episode. Like the video, leave your comments, and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you guys later on for Love and Hip Hop Miami.